Credentials can be compromised in multiple ways, from phishing, database theft, social media, and brute force, to name a few. With an increase in password requirements and complexity, individuals often reuse credentials for convenience. This empowers attackers to use stolen credentials on multiple systems. Valid compromised credentials help attackers bypass the basic security controls and silently execute their objectives without triggering a security alert using native tools. This scenario highlights a sophisticated attacker that compromises a work-from-home system administrator, and without using any malware or custom tools, conducts a ransomware attack on a corporate network. Even though tools and techniques may differ from attack to attack, there is a fundamental life cycle used by cyber attackers. This life cycle is leveraged to reduce dwell time by identifying security controls and detection techniques to find attackers before they can cause business impact. It is no longer a question of if a network or system will be compromised, but when. And using this methodology allows us quickly to identify and hunt techniques that are not easily identified by security tool sets. Active threat intelligence constantly monitors a wide variety of intelligence sources, looking for a variety of threats, including typo squatting, stolen credentials, and misconfigured repositories with sensitive data. Typo squatting is the process of using mistakes such as typos when accessing websites, and can also be used in phishing attempts. Actively monitoring domain registrations for similar naming conventions is a good indicator of a potential phishing campaign during the weaponized phase of an attack. Bitdefender MDR Services creates a unique customer threat profile for each customer, based on data and information provided by the customer. This profile is a holistic view and is used to generate custom alerts and watch lists, looking for typo squatting, stolen credentials, misconfigured repositories with sensitive data, and other indicators. Once identified, the MDR Threat Intel team works with the customer success team to validate the activity or information and provides recommendations to secure the environment. This data is also used to identify hunts that will be conducted by the security analysts to look for additional malicious activity. This is a typical example of how phishing is used to harvest credentials with typo squatting. Our MDR services rely on Bitdefender machine learning and analytical capabilities to detect and prevent phishing and credential harvesting attempts before a user is compromised. Using the detection data across the environment, trends are used to identify active phishing campaigns, which will then identify an area that should be reviewed by an analyst and provided as a notification to the customer. Lateral movement involves techniques to move deeper into a network, searching for sensitive data and high-value systems. Using valid credentials, attackers will attempt to log into additional devices, mimicking the actions of users, by reviewing user activity with both IP address and expected time of activity. If suspicious traffic or user activity is identified, the IP address can be blocked to prevent further lateral movement on additional systems. Additionally, a customer verification will be sent to the customer to verify prior to declaring an incident. Once the attacker has access to the domain controller as an administrator, he can affect all domain systems. The attacker is attempting to avoid detection by using PowerShell code that is copied onto the server. PowerShell files are common on a server and are often used by administrators, and by using common naming schemes, it can assist in avoiding detection. MDR has the ability to quarantine files if suspicious files are identified. To avoid detection, the attacker is going to run a PowerShell command that will create a GPO that will create a scheduled task on each system to run a second script. This second script is another PowerShell that will delete the shadow copy and start the encryption process. MDR has the ability to stop a process and quarantine the PowerShell script. Bitdefender MDR service instantly increases incident response by combining industry-leading cybersecurity for endpoints, network, and security analytics with the threat hunting expertise. Our MDR process is equipped to find and stop attacks along the entire kill chain. Find out more at bitdefender.com/MDR.